Hello, welcome back to our Microsoft Defender for Endpoint Client Analyzer episodes. My name is Heike and I have Miso with me. In the previous episode, we talked about an overview of the Client Analyzer, and now we are digging deeper into troubleshooting onboarding issues. Quick introduction, Miso, in case people didn't watch the first episode, please.
Sure. Thanks, Heike. Hey, everyone. This is Mina Abdelmalek. I am a product manager for Defender for Endpoint in CXE team here in America, and happy to see you all today. And we will continue talking about troubleshooting Defender for Endpoint.
Yes, and we only looked at the report, the HTML file with all the details that you get out of it. And now we are actually looking into various log files that the client analyzer takes, but also produces. So what is the simulation of, like, what are we troubleshooting? The device is not onboarded, or the device is there and the status is unhealthy. What are we looking at?
Okay, so we can start for troubleshooting with the event logs. The event logs here are the set of all the event we capture during the investigation or in collecting the data for client analyzer. We see here, okay, we collected the data from Sense IR, UTC, the Azure Active Directory operational, and the Windows Update client. Let's take a look at the event logs from the event viewer. So if I go to application and services logs, click on Microsoft, click on Windows, and scroll down to Sense and click on operational. This is everything related to onboarding the device to Defender for Endpoint and sending the telemetry data to the Defender. Let me scroll all the way to the bottom and see when I onboarded this device for the first time, what happened. So if I scroll down all the way to the bottom, okay, this device was onboarded on August 29 at 2:30. If I click on the first one, okay, service is starting because we ran the onboarding script. Then move to the next one, Sense starting for platform, okay, cloud configuration loaded from persistent storage, onboard or re-onboard Windows Defender Advanced Threat Protection Service completed. This is the old name for MDE, Defender for Endpoint, if you remember.
I gave it that name many years ago.
Then we started all the services and filters needed to run in the kernel and the user system. So MSEC filter system, kernel service started. Another one, WFP. Communication quotas are updated. The disk quote is 56 megabyte and the daily upload quota is 70. Then the MDE calculate the machine ID. If you remember, this is the machine ID we saw on the client analyzer report and on the Defender portal also. Then let's go. Okay. The MDE generated a key to communicate between the device and the Defender portal. The service opened key successfully. Authentication happened between the device and the Defender portal. A new refresh token certificate creation completed successfully. This is the certificate required in the secured communication.
So you would also see if there was now an error, for instance, failed creating the key. So you would go back to event ID, I don't know, 113 or whatever the number was, and you would see that that specific task did fail.
Correct. Yes. This is a big part on troubleshooting. Go back to the time you onboarded the device and see if you see any errors in the event viewer. So next, the network connection is identified as normal. This is very, very important because if you have any communication error, you will see an error here and okay, this is a normal way, so this is fine. And the Defender Advanced Threat Protection will contact the server every 30 seconds. Also, there is no metered connection, so everything is working fine. There is no bandwidth cap. Internet available is true. Free network available is true. Proxy is defined by GBE is false. If you remember when we looked at the client analyzer report, we saw there is no proxy configured.
Pretty cool.
Okay, the battery state is identified as normal, so that's fine. Cyber telemetry updated has been suspended for Windows Advanced Threat Protection due to invalid expired token. So registration of the device completed, and that you see, and so on and so on. It just did it again. I don't remember. Maybe I tried to run the onboarding script again on this device. This has been like 5 months. The policy demo, and you see, and so on and so on. Right here, you see the TVM, the Sense TVM starting to kick off. This is the threat vulnerability management. This is another reason why the device doesn't show the threat vulnerability management data right away on the Defender portal. It takes from 3 to 4 hours because we run the threat vulnerability management service on the device. We collect all the data we need, then we analyze them on the cloud, and then we show it to you on the Defender portal. So Sense TVM is another service running with Sense on the device. Okay, let's scroll up. The network detection and response executable has started. This is the service we use to protect against malicious attacks, like communicating to a malicious CNC server or downloading malicious file from a malicious IP address. I'm just spending some time here because it's very important to know the component is running when you onboard the device, because it will be easier for you to identify which component is causing the problem. Okay, and that's it. So let's go back to the client analyzer. So we collected the same data from Sense IR. This is the automated investigation and response, the UTC, the Windows update, and the Azure Active Directory operational. You can use this to troubleshoot endpoint security management.
Now we troubleshoot Sense. It looks like there was nothing to troubleshoot. Your Sense is running perfectly. So, but then that was the EDR component. What about the AV component? We also look into the specific event logs?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so the same thing. If you want to troubleshoot the Sense, so you can scroll down here, and under Windows Defender, you can see the event logs here. So, yep, I can just go over and see if anything wrong, if you have any warning. So, just an example, this is for the Windows Defender use cloud protection to get security intelligence. Mm-hmm. So we see this just happened. What is the intelligent versions pulled from the internet? This is another warning. Okay, the Defender antivirus has been stopped. So there is a lot to troubleshoot here for Windows Defender as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there is another way to troubleshoot Defender also by using the PowerShell. So if I just go to this PowerShell here.
So now this is using tools that are part of the client analyzer or part of the operating system?
This is part of the operating system now.
Okay, thank you.
So, yep. And also just remember that client analyzer is not doing anything not in the operating system. It doesn't do any magic. It just collects all the data from the operating system, from the Windows, and just give it to you in a nice way in HTML report. That's we highlighted for you.
Okay, it's not coming with extra tools or extra scripts or anything. It is a collector.
It's a script. It's a script to run to collect the data.
Got it.
On the Windows and run a communication test between the service on the Windows and the required URLs and IPs on the cloud.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Thank you.
So we have two main commands here in PowerShell to troubleshoot. The first one is get-mb computer status. This one will give me the data and the status of the Defender engine itself.
What is the MP? Do you know what MP stands for so that I can remember it? MP computer status?
Malware protection computer status.
Ah.
Okay, so the first one, the anti-malware engine version 2409, the product version, this is the platform, the AM running mode, this is normal, you can see if it's passive or not, if the service enabled, the service version, if the anti-spyware is enabled, and you go over all this. Important thing also, you can see the full scan age, if it's the temper protection is enabled or not, the last full scan, the network inspection engine version, the quick scan age, the real-time protection is enabled or not, and so on and so on.
So very similar data to the HTM report, but additional information such as quick scan was running, full scan, how many files, and also awesome. Okay.
Yeah, this is more detailed than the client analyzer when it comes to the engine version and the status of Defender on the device.
Yeah.
Okay, there is another one also. Just let's clear this. Get MP preference. The MP preference, this will look at all the Defender policies applied on the device. So anything you configure by GBO, MECM, Intune, Endpoint Security Management by Defender, it will be applied on the device and you can see the results here. So as an example, I can see here if I disable the archive scanning or not, disable the catch-up full scan. If I scroll down, I see if the network protection is enabled or not, the low CPU priority, and so on and so on. So it's very important when you deploy a policy and you need to make sure the policy settings are applied to the device, you need to check the get MP preference.
These are all the components that are part of AV. Doesn't include attack surface reduction rules here?
This is a good question. So attack surface reductions are here as well. So if I scroll up here, okay, I will see the attack surface reductions settings right here, listed here.
Cool.
So the exclusions, the actions, the rule IDs.
In your case, not configured, but yeah.
So also there is a list of all that's get MP. So just as an example, if I write here just get MP and click on tab, okay, this will show me the first one, get MP behavior network and blocking rules. Another tab, get MP computer status. Performance report. If I have a performance issue on the device, this is another topic, big topic.
Yes, we will cover it soon as well with Yong.
Yeah, because it need a full opposite on this. Performance report, MP preference, MP threat. This will give me a report on the threat the defender detected on this device before, the threat catalog, the detection, behavior monitoring block rules, and so on and so on.
Great.
It's very important to get yourself familiar with the PowerShell get MP command because they are very, very helpful and you can use them a lot in the troubleshooting. Something important, if you are opening a support ticket, anyway, I would highly recommend to collect the client analyzer data and include it in the support ticket. This will save you a lot of time before going back and forth with support. So you can have all your data ready from day one and including it in your ticket. So the support engineer will look at your data right away and maybe will be able to fix the problem from day one.
I would hope that people after this episode don't have to open a support ticket and troubleshoot it themselves.
Yes, we hope to. And yeah, again, and if you have any ideas or any feedback on how to make the troubleshooting tools much better, much easier for you to troubleshoot it by yourself, if you are missing anything, feel free to reach out to us, to your account team. Submit your feedback on Microsoft channels. We would love to hear this.
Yeah, and the documentation is actually a link to client analyzer feedback, so people can go there. So now that we looked into the log files, and PowerShell, are there any other tools or data that we want to look into when it comes to maybe onboarding, offboarding, troubleshooting?
Yes, Heike. This is the last use case, and this is very, very interesting. Some customers come to use case that, okay, everything is working fine. I don't have any errors. Client analyzer is perfect, but at the same time, I still don't see
It's
the
not
device
working.
on my Defender portal. I would say that most of the time, you are onboarding the device to the wrong tenant.
Hey,
I have seen it with many customers when they migrate their tenant from a location to another location. Maybe it's a global company and they are required to store their data in Europe. That's the devices in Europe data location, so they have to move it to another data center. Uh, or if you are just moving from commercial to government, you need to switch
mm-hmm.
to a new organization ID to store your data in this location. So I would say the first thing to check, make sure your organization ID matches the organization ID on the device. The first thing to check, by a registry. So if I go to under local machine,
But we had the organization ID also in the report, right?
correct. I have it on the Defender portal. I need to match the organization ID on the Defender portal with the organization ID on the device itself.
Mm-hmm.
Because the client analyzer report will get it from the machine.
The device.
Yes. So if I scroll down under Microsoft and just go to Windows Advanced Threat Protection, I can see here, okay, in the onboarding info, this is my organization ID. So it's either you check this, you match this with organization ID in your onboarding package or on the Defender portal. So I see here this ends with 78B7. If I go back to the Defender portal and under settings, click on Microsoft Defender XDR and just see here it's end with
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
78B7. So
Okay.
I'm onboarding it to the right location.
And then as well, so if it would be a mismatch, it means someone would have downloaded the wrong onboarding package with a different org ID in the onboarding package. So I
Yes.
wouldn't use the same onboarding package and try it over and over again. I
Mhm.
would probably have a look into or go into the same portal that you were there right away and download the onboarding package and onboard with this one and look into the package, right? Can you look into the package?
Yeah, okay. You can check the onboarding package as well. So if I go back here to the Defender portal and let's try to download it. Yep. Uh, this is Windows 10, streamline connectivity, local script. Let's download the onboarding package. Okay. And this is the onboarding package. Let me open it with Notepad. And if you can see here, if we scroll down, I can see here the organization ID. So this is a good question to look at the onboarding package as well, because onboarding package is only just doing like little things. This is a trick, a magic trick. It's adding the registry required for the Defender for Endpoint to work and pointing the Defender for Endpoint telemetry data to the right tenant. So like as you see here, okay, we are adding this registry, and in the script in the bottom, okay, we are pointing the registry to forward the telemetry data to this organization ID. And you see here where is the location of the URL. I see this is stored in US. This is our data center. The data center is East US 3, and so on and so on.
Good. So I think we gave a lot of troubleshooting tips for, in general, unhealthy devices or onboarding, offboarding issues, and how to read the files, how to use these files. And I would also recommend everyone, we showed the page in the first episode. It's basically our documentation on the troubleshooter, the client analyzer, and watch more episodes because more is coming. In the next episode, we will talk about the settings, the individual endpoint settings coming down to, is this true? Are we
Yes.
talking about that?
Yes.
Okay. So in the next episode, we will talk about endpoint settings on the device and troubleshooting possible mismatch. And yes, until then, Mina, thank you so much for being my expert also on this episode. And we talk soon. Thank you. Bye.